Yo, what's going on? Myself headed into Milwaukee, Wisconsin here, make a delivery, and then I am pretty certain that I'm headed home immediately afterwards. Maybe not, possibly. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If I get home tomorrow, I get home tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Plan that out like that. 28 days on the road or something like that. And I might just make it home tonight. That should be the song. But I wanted to make a video about the reality of trucking. I found this little channel that was for like people just getting into the industry, brand new drivers. I can't remember the name of the channel. I think it's Trucking Truth or something like that. But there's a whole bunch of videos up there for people that are just coming into the industry or people that are thinking about it. And I was like, you know what? I might be able to put in a little 2 cents on this one. So the reality of it. First thing, off the bat, number one, 28 days on the road is, well, actually for me, that's like high end for me. I'll do typically 3 to 4 weeks on the road. I don't think I've ever done further than like, I don't know, 30 something days, low 30s. That's about it. I know that some people do like months on the road. I don't understand, but I mean, they're just wired a little bit crazier than I am. Let's leave it at that. But 28 days on the road, and I got home for 2 resets, which is a 34-hour period, which means that I had a day off at home, which is incredibly nice. That day feels like it lasts for a week, honestly. You come back out and you're like really recharged, and then, you know, I had another reset that was on the road, and that day you're just kind of sitting there like, is it over yet? Like, you're twiddling your thumbs, you know, all that good stuff. You're just waiting for it to be over, just praying that you can get back behind the wheel. That's all you're waiting for. But yeah, that is the first reality, is that you're probably going to be gone for a long time. And this is a very specific video for people that are either just getting into it, like they're on their way to a trucking school, or they're, you know, in training of some sort. You know, they haven't actually gone into a truck and done the job yet. Or like people that just look around and they're like, oh, like that seems like it'd be kind of cool. You know, this truck's from, you know, wherever 1,000 miles away. How did it end up over here? Like, that'd be so cool to see all the stuff in between. And, you know, this video is for those people there. So the first reality is you're going to be gone for a dang long time, and you need to examine yourself and wonder if you can really, or, well, wonder, I guess, reason with yourself and see if that's actually something that you could actually handle. And you know, everyone has a different situation. Maybe, you know, maybe for you it's free and clear, sort of like it is for me. I'm single single as can possibly be, and what are we doing? Gotta break it down. I'm single as possibly could be, really have no responsibilities at home. I don't have a pet goldfish or something that I gotta come back and feed or anything. There's nothing going on back there. So basically what I have left is like friends, and that's about it. And well, most of my friends have been my friends for so dang long that they, you know, when I see you, basically. That's how it goes. And I've got other friends that this is the only person they've ever known me as, so they completely get it. So it kind of depends on your situation and what is allowable. Wife and kids, they want you to be home. Let's cause an accident. Or, okay, I'm back out of this. Fun. But yeah, if you got a wife and kids and all that, it's like they probably want you to be home pretty often, and that is possible. And it is possible to still be, like over the road, do some regional work, and still see where you're at. Maybe get like a 1,000-mile run or something like that. Go, take a long run, and go check out some real sites. I don't know. That's a possibility. I guess I should talk about that now. Another reality of this job is kind of what just happened in front of me. Y'all can't see it, but the risk of driving a semi-truck is pretty substantial. This stuff was kind of stuff that I never really considered, so I'm just kind of putting it out there. Now you got it, you know what I mean? So the brakes on a semi-truck are not very good. The handling on a semi-truck is not very good. Depending on what you got, it might be affected by wind pretty heavily. Like if you're driving like a van trailer or something like that, obviously there's nothing you can do if it's empty and it's windy. You're basically running around with the wind or a sail on the back of your truck, and that's an issue, obviously. But as far as flatbed goes, if you have like a tall load and it's very light, you're basically in the same predicament as an empty van trailer, stuff like that. Oh man, there are so many ways to kill yourself out here. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, maybe you're not gonna die, but there's a lot of ways to have a bad day. We'll leave it at that. Just a lot of dang ways to have a bad day. I realize that now I'm talking like I'm trying to scare you off or something like that, but in all reality, you just got to be prepared for when bad things happen. Keep your distance very far away, way further than you would in a car, and you're probably going to be fine. Mountains and other stuff like that. There's all kinds of stuff, and basically the overall rule is just go slower. That's really it. If you go slower, you got more time to think about stuff, more time to react. If you have to stop or get out of the way of something, then you have more time to do that because you're moving slower. I mean, I don't mean to talk like it's all scary all the time. It's not. I mean, usually you're just sitting here like this, just riding like that. That's most of the job. Like 97% of the job is doing that, and then the other 3% is, this could get kind of hairy, and then you're out of it. That's basically all it is. Another reality. I thought about this when I took off my hat. I don't typically wear hats, but today is one of those days. I don't think I've had a shower since Sunday or Monday, something like that. I don't know. A reasonably good amount of time. There used to be times where I would go 5-6 days without a shower, and that's obviously not preferable. And I mean, maybe you can see it. No, not really. But I've been running steel the past couple of days, and that stuff gets onto your arms and all over your face and all that crap, and you look like you just came out of a coal mine and all that, and then you just got to go take a nap. In that, you can't really take a shower, so that's a reality of it. Is it's not all the time that you're gonna get to see a shower, and it's not like basically the whole thing is this is not like a normal job. The whole dang thing is not like a normal job, and personally, that is my favorite thing about this job. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I'm wired crazy, but somebody forgot to put the red wire into the normal person slot, and they threw it back into the crazy slot. And, you know, once I started doing this, I was like, ooh, this is not good. Like, I'm not going to be able to go back to a normal job. And that's completely true. Like, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, how did I hold down like a normal 7 to 5 job? You know, you go to work, show up 7 o'clock and you're done by 5, all that crap. Or, you know, whatever you're doing, you know what I mean? How did I ever do that? It doesn't make any sense to me, because this is still, with all the regulations and rules that we have on us, it's still a way freer job than a normal job. And I guess that kind of depends on your situation with, nope, can't do that. It kind of depends on your situation with your company too. I mean, if you're a reliable driver, as you know, myself, most of the time, I will admit that sometimes I just mess up and, you know, do something wrong and sleep in, that sort of stuff. It happens, and, you know, it's not who I usually am, so basically my dispatcher tends to leave me alone, you know. He'll ask me, you know, what time do you think you're going to get there, if I'm running a little late for whatever type of reason. But typically speaking, you're not talking to anyone when you're at work. It's a really strange thing. Like today, this whole day, I talked to 3 people. I talked to another driver that was just getting some fuel next to me. He was just blah, 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 and then we were done. And then I talked to the guy that was checking out my trailer at the fuel island, blah, 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 and we're done. And then another guy that was fixing some stuff on my trailer, because I guess it wasn't up to standard or whatever, and it, you know, blah, 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 and we're done. And that was it. I mean, that's kind of another thing about it, is if you're the type of person that needs to have people around to talk to, like, I can think of plenty of guys that I've worked with in the past that need to have, you know, someone to, I guess we'll say whine. That's the PG-13 word. They like to have someone to whine at, or, you know, just talk to about whatever. Especially in the factory job that I used to have, they're just social people. They like to talk, and I was just a listener. I've always been a dang listener. I've never been a very social person, I guess. Don't have any problem talking to a camera, clearly, but yeah, that is another thing. If you're a social person, oh boy, you do see a lot of people in this industry. They run around with little headsets on. I got my headset over there, but that thing stays hung up all day. I ain't even talking to anyone, and when people call me, I'm like, you know, okay, let's catch up, and okay, you got to go do something, so see you later. You know, that's pretty much it. So what do we got? We got all kinds of stuff. You're away from home. It's dangerous. You're not gonna be the cleanest person in the world. It's not normal, and you're not going to be able to be incredibly social. Sure, we'll blow your doors off. I don't care. Now, what was the other one? See, now there was something else that I was going to put in here. You know what? I can't exactly think of it. It'll come around to me. I'll keep babbling. I don't know. It's... The whole industry is a very strange. Okay, it's a very strange thing. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that you can be doing in this industry that, you know, you can get home every day if you want to. There's stuff like that. You could just get home every weekend if you want to do stuff like that. And there's companies that, if you apply to them, you better know in advance that you don't want to be home for a month. Like, there's all kinds of stuff out there. It's pretty crazy. And, you know, pay changes. Of course, when you're first starting out, you're going to be pretty lucky to make like $40,000 a year, something like that. A lot of people, I guess this was not my experience. I made a little bit more than that, but I guess a lot of other people have real issues making good money in the industry, and that probably has something to do with why, you know, people don't stick around very long. Prime example of this is I was talking to a driver for an undisclosed company. We're not going to put it out there, but I mean, you can make your guesses and all that. I mean, you're probably not going to be very far off. He was pulling a reefer trailer, and you know, we were just chatting. I think he wanted to know if I could get out in the morning. He had sort of parked in a weird spot where you know, it might be an issue if I, you know, if he was parked there, if I could actually get out in the morning without having to get him to move his truck. So he was just checking on that, and I was like, well, like, you know, just talking about the company, and you know, how do you like that one? And I was like, oh, pretty good. And how do you like that one? And he's like, oh boy. And I'm like, oh boy. Like, here we go. And he said that they were paying him like 25 cents the mile or something like that, which, that's no money, good sir. And he said that he actually started out getting paid like 14 or 15 cents to the mile, and had to get like he had to do like all kinds of stuff, jump through all sorts of hoops just to get up to 25 something cents. It was somewhere around there, 25 cents a mile or something like that, which I was like, you know what, that's absolutely ridiculous. By the way, call my company and they will set you up making like 15 cents more than that just starting out, and that's like base level pay. I don't know, it was kind of strange. I still haven't I haven't thought of what I was gonna add in there. I don't know, maybe I'll think of it later. Yeah, I don't know, I'll add it in if I think about it. But basically, to summarize, to conclude, if you just think this would be something cool to do, or you're like, I don't know if I like my job, I want to try something different, you need to analyze your situation. That's what I think. I don't know, if you're free and clear, you might as well go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's just nothing holding you back, you might as well give it a try. Like, what's it gonna hurt if it's just not what you liked, you know, stuff like that. And another thing to remember is that people may call this a job, and they might say that it's a good career or whatever, and you want to think in normal career terms, where, you know, you have like a good work to life balance or whatever. I don't know what normal people do, but it's not like that at all. People say that it's a job, and even if you're a local driver, I'm sure that there are, you know, just weird things that happen throughout the day where you're going to get hung up, and it's not going to be like, oh, I punch out at 5 every day. Like, that's just not how it's going to be. Some days you might punch out at 3, some days you might punch out at 7, you know? Like, it all depends. And especially if you're over the road. Like myself, I heard, like, before I got into the industry, I heard this one guy say that trucking is not a job, it's a lifestyle. And I was like, What are you talking about? Like it's a job. Like it's just got some strange stuff going on about it. You know, you gotta be gone for quite a while. Like that's the situation with the job. And the reality of it is that it really is a lifestyle that you pick up. It's not like you just are still normal. I don't know how to explain this, but I remember hearing that before I was a driver, and I was like, you know, what are you talking about? It's a lifestyle. And then I got out here and I was like, oh wait, like this dude was definitely talking some sense. Which one we need? That's the one we need. What? The signs are wrong according to my GPS, which, whatever. We'll follow the little blue line because that thing's usually right. Oh no, stop. But yeah, that is the conclusion. Think about it, analyze it. I don't know. I can't help you past there. I don't know. I'm not sure what else to tell you. I think it takes a very specific breed of person to enjoy this job and want to stick with it. And I'm the type of person that I think when it comes time to retire, I'm going to have a very difficult time putting this down and going back to trying to be normal after, 20, 30, 40 years of just doing this job. I gotta be over there, Holmes. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you. But yeah, that is the situation. If you can give it a try, you might as well, just to see. You might flick a switch like it did with me and you're like, ooh, I'm not doing anything else ever again, but you might give it a try and be like, no, it's not for me. And then you just keep moving, you know what I mean? Alright. That's all I got for you. I'll let you go. So, I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.